हम ना हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, कोई सोल्यूशन, कोई सीक्रेट कि कुछ तो होगा यार, कि कोई तो चीज़ होगा जो हमको हेल्प कर सकती है इस पोजीशन में, कि हमारी इतनी लगी पड़ी है ज़िंदगी की ये प्रिपरेशन के स्टेज में, तो कोई तो हेल्प कर देगा हमको, कोई तो एक वीडियो होगा जो हमको ऐसे क्लिक करेगा और सब कुछ फिगर आउट हो जाएगा। हमको लगता है कि कोई सीक्रेट वे, कुछ तो सीक्रेट इंग्रेडिएंट होगा जो सिर्फ आईआईटी वालों को ही पता है और वो बताते नहीं है।
青い地球が私の胸に夜に浮かぶ満月をくれた
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we have none other than Sankho Kun here, Sankho-san, Sankho-senpai, whatever you want to call him. Sankho, so of course most of the people watching here would know you, but let's just start by, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Okay, so hey everyone on this channel, really good to see you guys again. And my name is Sankho. I'm a sort of like an engineering student from IIT Hyderabad. I'm currently pursuing my BTech degree. And again, apart from all that boring stuff, I also run a YouTube channel which is really close to 100K. Like, I really like making videos. That is mainly why I'm doing it. So if you like college productivity and a little bit of cool video making stuff, you can always get there and check it out. Yeah.
All right, let's start with a little light-hearted stuff. I have a little rapid fire prepared for you here. So
All right. All right.
let's start. Sankho, 3 words you use to describe yourself.
Okay, I'll say I'm very positive in every situation. Positive is one. Second is I'm very punctual. I get mad at people who are late. And third will be, is there any word who likes to get into a lot of things? Is there any word for that? Because I am that, I'm pretty
There
sure.
is. It's called, I'm pretty sure because I used it on an essay. It's called multifactional, I think. So
Yeah, if that is the word, whatever that word is, I am that. I take on a lot of hobbies, lot of habits, and sort of mess up most of them, but yeah, it's fun.
All right. So, Sankho, this is something a lot of people want to know, and I want to know personally as well. What is your favorite anime of all time?
So this is my favorite anime is, I put it out there, Tokyo Ghoul. Now a lot of people would disagree because the anime is not good. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
But as a manga, it's
Mhm.
totally on another level. That is something I have not watched as many animes as someone who can call themselves a weeb, I guess. But yes, among what I've watched, I really liked Tokyo Ghoul because I related to the story of Kaneki, and I really liked that. Unlike other maybe Hollywood movies or Bollywood, especially Bollywood movies, unlike them, Tokyo Ghoul gave you a really ambiguous approach to the audience, because Kaneki was initially a human, then he becomes a ghoul. Now, initially, when he was a human, he used to only see the human approach to all of this, the human perspective, and how they hated the ghoul world.
Yeah, I remember that.
And when he was transformed into a ghoul, then he realized that eating humans was not their passion or hobby. They were doing it because they have to live their life as well, and they have their feelings, they have emotions, they have families as well, and they are losing family members because of the humans as well.
Hunters,
Okay,
yeah.
spoiler alert for anyone. I guess that was too late, but yeah. So that is why I love that anime.
No, I completely agree. The political side of how they represent the ghoul communities and the human communities and the interrelations, they're great. I also remember, like, Tokyo Ghoul was my first anime, and it wasn't towards the end. Last seasons, it really dropped off, but I remember the first season was really nice.
That
So,
season was really nice.
any anime you're watching currently? Any season, this season? What's your favorite among them?
I am currently not watching anything. I'm currently watching an older anime named Monster. It is people really talk high of it, so I wanted to check it out. And I'm a really sucker for psychological thrillers as ever. So yeah, that is something I'm watching right now. And I'm also following My Hero Academia a little bit. Not really up to date, but I like let the episodes rile up a little bit, and then I can binge watch them in one night. Another thing, okay, but Attack on Titan is not currently going on, but yeah, Shingeki no Kyojin, obviously loving that, all the twists and turns and everything that is just unexpected. I'm really looking forward to the next season.
if you like psychological anime, I recommend Mirai Nikki Future Diary. It's really amazing.
Oh, really? I will.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, then I will add that to my list.
Yeah. All right. So, in your videos and your posts on Instagram, I've seen that you're a big reader. So, your favorite book, any?
I'll say like talking about novels. It's one of the first novels I read, The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. That is a really amazing book that really got me into the whole reading world. Again, I don't know how you got that impression. I'm not really a big reader. I literally
No.
started reading in 11th
Hey,
standard.
Anybody who reads at least like 5 books a year is a reader for me. I used to be a big
Okay.
reader also. I used to be a huge reader. I have a whole bookcase, but since like the last 3 years, I haven't read a lot. So anybody who reads is a reader for me. As another just a small question. I just want a one-line answer. What's your like? There's a huge debate in the world about self-help book versus fiction. So like a lot of people are like self-help books are all the same and stuff like that. So what do you think about that?
I think it's different for every person, and I think what a lot of people get wrong is what purpose the self-help books serve for them. I think it's really different for everyone. Like for me personally, I'm not like reading a self-help book to completely idealize whatever is written and completely incorporate it into my life. I think every book that I read, be it fiction, non-fiction, or a basic self-help book, I read it as a perspective of the writer, of whoever the author is, to that particular set of problems. And if I like his approach or a part of his approach, I can incorporate it in my life, test it out, experiment with it, tweak it a little bit. And if it works for me, I can keep it in my system for a longer period of time. So that is something I think is really important, whether you're watching tutorials on YouTube or advice, taking advice from some kind of guru or reading any self-help book. See, like, the thing I think that happens is we don't take YouTube videos as seriously as compared to as a book, because reading a book takes a lot more effort.
Yeah.
And whenever we put more effort into something, we value the outcome a lot more. So whenever you're reading a book, we feel like it is way more important and it should be like incorporated into our life right away. So that is not the case. I also have recently noticed something, that whenever I'm reading some kind of self-help book, even though I'm not like consciously accommodating anything into my life, I am just productive, a little bit more productive in general when I'm reading something productive. So that's how it works for me. So that's it. Figure out how it works for you. That is everything I guess I can give you at this point.
Okay. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear. Okay. I would have said rejection, but I've been rejected for like 3-4 times. So that fear is sort of gone out of the window. At this point, I fear regrets, and I fear like forgetting the parts of my life that I wanted to remember. So that is the whole like trigger for like documenting my life and everything.
Like that is very high and mighty. My biggest fear is lizards. Like that does not compare at all. But okay, last question for this session is that I'm really curious. How many people think that Kun is not a honorific but your surname? Has it ever happened?
A lot of people. I like almost on every video I'll get at least 10 comments. So how are you Indian, or someone be like, what is the meaning of Kun? And I'll have to like either I used to explain to them back in the day, but now I leave them like whatever. I like, yeah, I think I included
it's in your
in the
about section. Yeah, I've read that. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
Sankho, you are of course living the dream of every JEE aspirant out there. You're studying in IIT. So I just want to know, can you describe the day you got your results to me? Like what the feeling was, because like you worked so hard, there was so much sacrifice, so much anticipation, and like what was the feeling when you knew your result and knew that you were getting into an IIT? What that feeling was like?
See, like this is not like the dream life for me. This is not something I pictured, but yes, I've worked hard for it. Me along with my parents, they have also worked hard for it. My dad has literally left his dream career and took on something else that could get him like a reliable source of income on a regular basis. So it meant a lot for him. It meant a lot for me. Like I wanted to do it for him. And I remember I was on the day the result was supposed to come at 10 a.m. or something. Yeah, but again, just like every other website, it gets clogged at that point. Way too much traffic, the website crashes. After waiting for like 2-3 hours, I got frustrated. Like whatever happens had already happened. It doesn't matter if I see the result today or tomorrow. So around like 2:30 or something, I went down to play some cricket. Then around 4, I guess, my dad called me that yeah, I got selected. And that was it. I literally, I was happy. I didn't like even come back to the house. I went back to play cricket because there was an important innings going on. My team was relying on me. But yeah, then we came back and like, although we live in a like a joint family and we have a lot of relatives, again, like just like Hindi soap operas, the relationships ain't that good. So there wasn't a lot of people congratulating or coming with sweets, nothing of that sort. It was like me and my parents. Yeah, I think we had a better dinner, like with chicken and all. That is all that happened. One of my seniors from coaching, he actually took me out to Kolkata. Actually, I don't live in Kolkata. I live more on the rural side. So, and I used to travel to Kolkata 3 times a week for coaching.
Okay.
So one of the seniors I had there, he actually took me out for my first pizza of my life to have.
Wow.
So that was a really nice moment. That is, I think, all the celebration I did for getting into IIT. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So getting into IIT, you must have some hopes and assumptions about what life at IIT would have been like. Has IIT fulfilled your expectations? What are some of the good and bad things you think of IIT has?
Yeah, IIT has but like not in just in IIT. I have one of my seniors. Like by senior, I mean like she's just older than me. She said like you cannot prepare for college. You can only try. That is the one line I have in that building. Yeah. So you cannot really perceive everything a college has to offer, be it IIT or be it any other college. It has really overwhelmed me in a lot of cases and really underwhelmed me in a few cases as well. Like the campus life is way better than I imagined. I did not expect that I would be having this many friends. Somehow there was a group of people who just adopted me and I'm with them ever since. So that is really nice. Club activities are a little bit underwhelming, I must say, like the way the club activities are portrayed at the start of the year and then all the enthusiasm just dies down. This is not like this, as I've been told by some of my friends, that it is not like this in the northern IITs, like IITs of North India. Like not to generalize, a lot of people get angry about this, but in our IITs, I see a lot more South Indian people who are just engrossed in their studies. They don't come out of the room. They don't come for club activities. They don't even come out for the college fest or anything. Again, not to generalize, these are the most people I have seen in my life, I have met in my life. That is how they are. So yeah, that is something underwhelming, I must say. Something that I again figured out in college is that I'm not from an English medium school and somehow I know how to speak English. I don't know how. So that is something I figured out. And another thing which I kind of knew, but I think a lot of people don't, that people think that IIT, people whoever is studying in IIT, they have a lot of academic pressure and they always all they do is study and studying is all they're good for. That is absolutely not the case. These people are so freaking talented. Everyone is good at something or the other. You just get to learn something from everyone. Someone, like, people are multi-talented. Almost everyone is multi-talented here. And yeah, another thing that I think I figured out along the way, that just because someone is a good student does not have to mean they are a good person. Like there's a line to be drawn there. Also, there is a difference between people who are smart and people who score better.
Yeah.
These are some of the takeaways I
Yeah.
have taken in the first 1 or 2 years. I've been on the campus and off campus even.
All right, so you answered my next question about how the people and the culture at IITs is. So I'll just skip on ahead and say I just want to say that IIT is like a lot of times described as the heaven for engineering students in India. So and not much is made of the difficulties students face here in the media. Like it's almost always positive. So, did you face any difficulties here on arrival? Like, I already know about your, as you said, your English speaking, but anything academic or otherwise, any challenges you faced?
I think, uh, okay, accounting your first part that IIT is treated as a heaven from the outside, it's not. I will say everything about IIT is heavily overrated in the outside world, because see, basically, how do you get to know about IITs? Like most of us, where we come from, most of my classmates in school, they did not know about IIT until like 10th standard or
Yeah.
something. How do we get to know about IIT? Either we hear from some peer or we see some kind of ad from some coaching institute.
Yes, I
Right.
agree.
So coaching institutes or any kind of tutor for IIT, they're doing a business. And
Yeah,
they're selling what? They're selling a dream of IIT.
The dream,
So
yes.
they have to glorify. They have to glorify their dream, so you buy it.
Yes.
And you have no way to basically like verify whatever they're saying unless you go into Quora and find some toxic items over there. Yeah, so that is why I think the whole IIT dream is really glorified and everything. I really think, yes, IIT gives you a lot of opportunities. I can't really compare it to other colleges, but they do give a lot of opportunities. But on a smaller scale, how a person develops, how the student develops as a person, how a student develops their skills, it's all up to the student, not much up to the college.
Yeah, I would say that's more important as well, like self-development in college, more than what you study in the classroom. What you do outside of it is much more important. Yeah, continue. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, no problem. So another thing was is that if I faced any kind of problem academically, apart from the English problem, which is surprisingly not a problem anymore, and academically, I think they start from a really ground up perspective that they don't even expect you to know the stuff you studied for JEE. They'll start everything from scratch. They'll literally start everything from scratch. You don't face a lot of problems if you follow the classes. You don't even need to follow the classes. We don't even attend all the classes. If you just follow whatever is going on, at least ask your friend about what happened in the class or what is coming in the next exam, and you study for it like 1 or 2 nights, you will be fine.
All right. Okay, so let's now talk about some fun stuff. Your YouTube career. You are now a certified YouTuber because last community post I saw you had a fan who clicked the picture with you. That's good certified YouTuber status. So I want to dial it back to the beginning and like, why did you decide to start uploading videos on YouTube? I remember like your day in the life was the first video you uploaded. When you uploaded that, did you think this would become a regular thing?
No, absolutely not. So people think my YouTube journey started with that video. It actually started 3 or 4 years before that. Okay, so my cousin brother used to have a YouTube channel about tech and smartphones, apps, all this kind of things. And he had around, I guess, 250K subscribers or something. And we live in a joint family, so we live in the same house. And I watched him closely. And at that point, I wanted to have a YouTube channel as well. I think that was class 8, I guess. And I have recently started drawing in class 7th. And I used to watch this cool art YouTubers who used to upload time lapses and get a lot of recognition. And I used to think, dude, this is really easy. I just have to make a video of my drawing and upload that. And that is where I started. I uploaded 2-3 of time lapses of my drawing, and I think over the last 6-7 years it still has like 23 or 24 views. Out of those 20 is me only. So that is when I realized that, okay, this is not easy. You have to be consistent, and there are a lot of other factors to get like reach to reach more people and stuff. And that is when that channel died. Then again in 9th or 10th, the whole craze about Clash of Clans came around. My whole class was playing Clash of Clans. We had a huge clan, and we used to log in every day and play like 2-3 hours, go into clan wars and everything. And we really used to get really serious about all these things. We used to watch strategy videos, how to do clan war attacks and everything on YouTube. And I was watching, and I thought, like, dude, I can do this. I am at Town Hall 8. There are a lot of town halls below me, and I can teach these noobs how to attack in a clan war. So that is when I started my gaming channel about Clash of Clans. Many people don't know this. I mean, most of the people don't know this.
Yeah.
I have a gaming channel. I didn't have a mic back then, obviously. And my phone, I didn't have a phone either. I used to only have a desktop. So I used my cousin's phone to record voiceovers on my gameplays. And I used to upload videos. And some of those videos actually got, at that time, I had like around 100 subscribers, and some videos I uploaded got like 5,000 or 4,000 views. And that was a really big deal for me.
Yeah.
And around that time, again, the whole boards and JEE thing came around. And that is when suddenly Clash of Clans lost like interest. Everyone lost interest in Clash of Clans. My whole class left. And so there was no point of me still playing Clash of Clans. The PUBG came, I guess, around that time. Everyone shifted to PUBG, and my phone, I didn't have a phone back then, so I couldn't really switch to PUBG. So yeah, that is when that channel died. And ever since then, I have on my own old tech stuff that I had, I used to like try on After Effects, CS3, on whatever I could run, like Filmora and stuff. I used to really love editing and making videos. Around 10th or 11th, I really realized that our school life that is ending. I finally realized that a huge part of our life is ending, and we're going to miss it. So documenting it could be a really interesting thing to do, and I could be really grateful of my past self later on. So that is when I started documenting, like whenever I went to some friend's birthday, or whenever we went out to play somewhere, random little things. And I used to make videos, put on songs on that. Those are like really cringe things to do, but there were like humble beginnings, obviously. So that is where I got my passion of making videos. And that is the purest form of creativity, I think, because back then when I used to make videos, I had nobody to show them. Nobody was watching my videos, and I was not putting it out anywhere. I was not showing it to even my friends. I was just making it them because I liked making videos. That was all there was to it. And after that, among the JEE process, around the last 4 or 5 months was really hectic. Not really hectic, it was really monotonous. You do the same thing over and over. You have completed the syllabus, it's the same revision.
That's what I'm facing right now. I completely agree.
You get up every morning. I can see some papers pasted on your wall.
Yeah, that's organic chemistry.
Same thing. I have all over this wall. You can probably see the double-sided tape still.
Yeah, I have it on every wall, and even the study table I have, it's everything. Like there's a periodic table here, names of ores there. There are amino acids there. It's crazy. But yeah,
it's literally this whole wall was organic chemistry. I used to wake up every day and spend 1 hour writing all the formulas, all the everything. Anyways, so that is why it was getting really monotonous, and we didn't have school in the last few months. Didn't have coaching, so I wanted a little bit of break from all of this, and that is when the whole trend of a day in the life of a college YouTuber, day in the life of a software engineer, all that came into YouTube. And I wanted to make one. Like, dude, these videos are cool. I can make this, I think. So that is when I took one day where I was studying and I was also filming, and I wanted to make that video. I made it and I just randomly put it up on YouTube. I didn't while I was preparing, I kind of had a vision that I want to have a YouTube channel where I will teach physics for JEE. That is what I had in mind. So that is how I started. And then later on, after after I was like, dude, I'm not gonna remember any of this physics maybe
Yeah.
2-3 months down the line. So I can maybe give some tips to people and tell people what mistakes I've made and what they should not make. So that is how it started. Then I realized how saturated and how weird this whole JEE market is,
Yeah.
because it's not really the content creators. It's actually about the audience. They don't know where to stop. They don't know where they've had enough. I don't blame them. I was like them, and you are probably like them as well. You are constantly searching for something better that
Yeah.
can get you through this phase. And I saw the content creators, they are exploiting this whole thing,
Agreed.
making daily videos talking about the same thing. And
Yeah,
well,
they do
technically,
this. They do this everywhere.
yeah.
They make the same thing for every new year, and that's how the people like. Even on my videos, I've seen comments like, "Make a strategy video for J 2023." I mean, like 11वीं और 12वीं मतलब साल भर change तो नहीं हो जाएगा ना, strategy the same
वही
रहेगी.
तो.
I don't know where this is started, but yeah, that is something that's there.
Yeah, I think that is one of the part that I mentioned in my recent JEE
Yes.
video
Yeah.
loop,
Yeah.
that we are in a hopeless condition somehow, that our families are counting on us on doing this, and we still don't have figured out how we're gonna do this, and if we're gonna be able to do this or not. So we always like to create a problem around us so we can blame it on that problem and not on us, because let's face it, it's really hard to get clear this whole process of and it is very unlikely on a like probabilistic level.
Yes.
So that is something we keep to cope with our problems, cope with our anxiety that this problem was there and we could not do it. That is why we make these voids in ourselves. Even if there is not one, we create our own voids and try to fill it. And when we're on the pursuit of trying to fill the void, we feel like we're productive, we feel like we're doing something, whether actually not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is something I think people need to realize, that all this comes from overestimating the dream IIT life.
Yeah.
Because your parents think it's a really great opportunity and it is the only way to go, and somehow your teachers enforce that mentality onto you as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is why you feel all this pressure, and that is why you feel the need to create a problem. Yes, it's why you feel the need to create an excuse around what if I fail and what if I don't get into this, and all this anxiety around it. I think that is the main problem around in the core of the whole thing.
All right, so we got sidetracked a little, but it's fine. So let's talk about something that a lot of people have been noticing recently. Your cinematography and your storytelling in your recent videos has been on another level lately. Like I saw some comments like your recent film was like on the level of a short film, which is a high compliment. So how did we've already talked about your passion for video making, as you said, but what about your storytelling? Where did this come from? Why did you decide that you want to create videos that tell a story in a certain way?
I personally think that storytelling is one of the best qualities a person can have, a social person can have. For my majority of my life, I was a really quiet kid. Not many people used to recognize me. Not many people used to acknowledge me. So it's kind of the Naruto theme. I want the people of the village to recognize me and acknowledge me. That's why I would become the Hokage. So that is sort of something I see. As much as we talk about how we don't care about what other people think, we don't care about what other people are saying about us, we do care.
That's
at this point. If someone doesn't care, that's great, but at this point of time, I do. I crave for external validation, and that is a reality I have to deal with right now. And something I've noticed, that whenever you're interacting with anyone, it does not have to be a storytelling contest, it does not have to be through a video. Whenever you're interacting with someone, talking to them outside of small talk, obviously, when you're telling them about your life or telling them about your experience, it all comes down to storytelling that guides them through this whole story and keeps them interested. So that is something I really thrive for. And there are certain YouTubers that I've been watching over the years. They mostly make take shots from different movies and make a and give a particular message. And I really like those videos. I really aspire to make those kind of videos one day. And I really like how they tell a story, and that can really create an emotion inside the viewer, and that can really change the viewer in a way. So that is something I aspire to do. And about the cinematics part, my dad used to be in like theaters and filmmaking a type of career ever since he got out of he got out of college, I guess. Ever since he got out of college, but then again, I think he directed his first film. He was a film director. Directed his first film that got into some film festivals and got some recognition. Around the time I was in third standard, fourth standard, and I was going into high school. Then he had to pay for my college and everything. And the film, it was just his first film, and it will obviously take a lot of time to build a reliable source of income out of that. So that is why he quit and became a school. He was a teacher for like 3 years at a private school. Now he's a private tutor full time, and he is. So that is, I guess, somehow how that passion for cinematics and cinematography comes into me. I heard him talking about this in my childhood. I can still discuss all of this and about the composition and stuff with him. He has all these film books, old books in the shelf. I would often open up and read them. So that is, I have my dad to thank for the cinematics.
Oh, that's a great story. Next I want to talk about something that you've always said, and something that when I first visited your channel, I saw written in bold. It's that you talk about happiness over hustle a lot. So in context of JEE, where a lot of aspirants like me, they're like hustling most of the time. It's like you've seen videos on YouTube now that you were the first one for the day in life, but now we have like 12 hours, 15 hours. People study like crazy, and they like give up their normal lives for this. And it often leads to burnout or depression or a lot of sadness. Like in my case, it was burnout. So what do you think? And this intense pressure of studying, it's mainly put on by the teachers and the coachings that we go to. So what do you think about this situation that we have? And can students do anything to, lead a normal, healthy life?
So talking about happiness over hustle, I recently designed this t-shirt. I printed it for myself, only one copy. It literally has like happiness over hustle written over it.
I can see that.
This is bliss in Japanese. Well, okay, apart from that, in the JEE period, at least for those 2 years, it is a lot of hustle. Not gonna lie, everyone has to go through that. But again, something you have to realize that you don't have to study for all your waking hours. If you manage your time well, you need to sleep. If you need to manage a good cognitive power, you need your brain to be functioning well. You need to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours a day. You can miss it maybe once or twice every month. That is fine, but on a regular basis, you should be sleeping that much. And apart from that, 24 hours subtract 8 hours. There's still how many? 16 hours a day.
Yeah, 16.
Yes, there are still 16 hours. And if you study for suppose 8 or 9 hours, even 10 hours a day, you still have 6 hours a day. 2 hours a day get into like taking a shower, talking with the family, or watching TV, maybe eating lunch, dinner, and all of that. You still have 4 hours of time. You can use that any way you want. And I think if we in one way, that is, I have seen a very common pattern among my friends, among me, and among a lot of the JEE aspirants I interact to on a regular basis on these days, that we like put ourselves down because we don't plan our breaks. Because we don't plan that I will be watching a movie from this point to this point, I'll be watching an anime from this point to this point, or I'll be getting down to play cricket in the evening for 2 hours. Because we didn't plan that, we feel really bad for taking those breaks, and we get to the point of which we can call burnout, that whenever we're studying, we're not able to study, and when we're not studying,
you think about studying. You
think about, why am I not being able to study? I should be studying. So that really like ruins both parts of it. You're not able to study, and when you need to relax, you can't even relax. So I think it's really important to give yourself that relaxed period of time. As
Mm.
much as the hustle culture is glorified on the internet, it may not be for you, it may not be for everyone.
Mm.
Hustle, see, one of the biggest advocate and one of the earliest advocate of hustle culture was Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Yes. Yes.
He was the one who
Mm.
came with the whole hustle culture and the word
Yeah.
hustle. That he was the first one who came into my feed with the word hustle. And one thing, another thing that he says that not many people emphasize on is that he also roots for happiness. He likes to hustle. He finds happiness in that hustle. He finds happiness in running a company. That is why he does the hustle. And not many people, and people just like to incorporate the hustle without the happiness. That
Yeah.
is, I think, really like a recipe for burnout, I must say. Yeah. So, and see, you don't always have to like the hustle. That is one part of it. Like for GE, maybe your family is in such a condition, you have to go through this.
Yes.
You have to
Yeah.
try for JEE, and it is not something you like, but you have to go through it. Just like me, it's not something that I completely was passionate about, but I had to go through it. That is some part of your life that will occur in your life, and uh, at this point, it is really important to have some kind of gateway of escape every day. Like I can see a ukulele behind you.
Yeah.
That can probably serve as a escape from, like when you playing an ukulele, you can't really think about how your physics is doing, how because you
Yes.
have to concentrate on that.
Yeah.
Something else that you enjoy and something else that it does not have to be something else that you enjoy. Even Instagram is something that I enjoy, but that is not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, for various reasons. So it has to be something that you enjoy, and it has to be something that takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of your cognitive energy. Because
Yeah.
on Instagram, you don't have to use your brain. You can just scroll through the reels all day, and you won't
So
even
you're just
feel the
saying
time passing.
you shouldn't do mindless stuff like scrolling through your social feed.
Yeah. Like if you play an ukulele, if you draw something, you will
You're actively
eventually find.
concentrated.
Yeah, and why are you going to Instagram? To get some like refreshment, to get
Yes.
something like some kind of fulfillment from outside, right? So if you try playing a ukulele, if you try drawing something, after a few days you will realize, if you even try to read a book, sing a song, anything like that, you'll realize that these activities where you put in some work and you produce something is way more fulfilling than consuming something off the internet.
Yes.
Once you realize that there is no going back to scrolling Instagram mindlessly, you will again go back on some random rainy day when you can't do anything else. Yes, but in most of the cases, you will prefer doing something that has an outcome that you put some effort in, and that has a better outcome in case, like in terms of fulfillment for you.
No, right. Yeah, that's something that you've been saying a lot also. Like, I think it's what, creation over consumption. That's what you've
Yes,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, continuing this talk about hustle culture, in one of your recent day in the life vlogs, you talked about toxic productivity. You portrayed it as a satire where you watch anime at 10x and stuff like that. So this, as I said, very much ties in with the hustle culture, where people make it seem like the more hours you're spending doing something productive, like studying, the more you respect our society and the more happy you'll be. So what do you think? And obviously this, as we talked about, leads to a lot of burnout, and people are not looking to enjoy themselves. They are trying to find enjoyment by just doing as much as they can. What do you think about this?
I think we are really like getting lost in this culture that is portrayed by the internet, and not really questioning why we're doing something. Like if you're watching an anime, you're watching it for the story, you're watching it for the character development, you're watching it for
the enjoyment.
Yeah, you're watching it for the enjoyment, and it is not a chore that you have to get done.
Agreed.
So it is not something that you need to get done as quickly as possible. Like studying is something that you need to get done in, if you get it done in a smaller amount of time, you are considered productive. That's great, because some studying is in often cases something you have to do.
Yes.
But watching an anime or watching a movie or playing cricket is something you do for enjoyment, is something you do for yourself.
Yes.
And that if that time can be maximized, I think that was productive. I think John Fish, if you know who he is, he talked about this, like what is productivity to him.
Yeah.
Productivity to him is not getting a lot of things done in a small amount of time. Productivity to him is getting the things he needs to get done in a small amount of time, so he can spend more time on the things that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That
I think
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think that rewiring is really necessary at this point of time for all the people who are getting into this toxic productivity or toxic positivity culture.
Yes.
Always question yourself why you're doing something, and is this really fulfilling, or is this really necessary before doing everything. That is all I can say.
Yeah, that is a really nice point about changing your mindset about what productivity means to you. So lastly, I want to talk about something that has greatly touched me as well. Your recent video, The Loop, as you called it. First of all, incredible video, really nice collab.
Thank you.
It was, and it showed the reality of the JEE aspirants in a very well presented way. It was great to see. So I wanted to ask you, what brought this idea upon? Like, what made you think about this, and what do you think of the state of helplessness that you've portrayed in the video as well? What do you think of that, of especially for JEE aspirants?
Okay, so about the helplessness part, I think I already talked that the whole problem is the core of the whole problem is the dream JEE life, and how our parents or our teachers are kind of forcing it onto us. Again, before I go to get into all of this, I would like to add another small point that when we're at this age, we really like to blame our parents for everything. We like to blame our parents for forcing this lifestyle on us. We like to blame our parents for getting us into engineering. I wanted to be a fashion designer. We like to blame our parents for getting us into the science after 10th boards when we wanted to get into arts. See, and this is something I think we really need to understand to have a better relationship with our parents, because after all, they are the closest people we have on this planet.
Yeah.
And as a parent, they want the best for their child, right?
Absolutely.
Now, think of like suppose in a hypothetical point of view, my dad wanted to be a filmmaker after he graduated from high school, and he pursued that dream. That didn't get him anywhere, and he failed, and now he is a private tutor, and he is not very proud of pursuing his passion. He thinks that maybe he could have worked a job for 10 years and then he could have pursued his passion. It would have been a better like choice, right? So when he sees his own son getting a similar kind of passion, or any kind of passion that is out, that like some kind of unorthodox passion that is not really in the educational sector, after he graduates from high school and wants to go into it, it is normal that my dad will try to enforce, even not enforce, try to convince me to get back into some engineering or something, because he knows that I will eventually regret it like he did. Even if I don't end up regretting it, that is the first thought that comes into his mind. Your parents want the best for you. Your parents want the best life for you, as much as they can provide, as much as they can give advice to. They want the best for you. So that is something I really wanted to keep in mind before, if you go about blaming your parents or getting into an argument. It's okay. They will not understand everything that you understand right now. It's totally fine. But again, I have this passion of video making, but I will probably never be quitting my job for YouTube, because dude, I like the 20-year-old Sankho likes making videos. What if the 40-year-old Sankho does not like making videos? That would be a huge regret, right? So I would not quit a sustainable source of income for my passion ever. So that is something I think you should really keep in mind. Because look, engineering is something which can be a gateway to almost everything. You can find engineers in every path of life, literally. So if your father wants you to go into engineering, it's probably not a bad thing. You get a lot of exposure, you get a lot of self-development over the 4 years of college, and over the 4 years of college, you get into a lot of more activities, a lot of societies, clubs, and try out different skills. Try out maybe acting, try out getting into like college politics and everything. If you like any of that, you can easily go into that. So that is something I think yeah, so that is one thing I wanted to say. Don't
Yeah,
blame your
though
parents for everything.
that's even my parents are like my sister, so she's in 7th grade and she wants to be a YouTuber. Like she wants to do that as a full-time job. So even my mom tells her like at least graduate college, get some options like for a sustainable source of income. That is very important. And I think
Mhm.
we as children don't understand the importance of income as much as our parents do, because they've
Yeah.
grown through that. They've seen what income means to them. So I think that is something really important that you just mentioned. Anyway,
And
continuing.
another,
Yeah.
like if you really have a passion for something around this age, another really interesting thing that I'm seeing among a lot of new Indian gamers on YouTube, that
Mm-hmm.
they manage their studies pretty well. They stream every day for like 4 hours, and the rest of the day they can study. And the only condition their parents have applied on them is that unless you like, as long as you're getting over like 85% or
Yeah.
something, I don't mind
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to do.
Yeah.
So you can really study smart, study
Yes.
efficiently, and get
Yeah.
all of your studying done in like 5 or 6 hours, and then you can
Mm.
do whatever you want with the time you have.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and okay, getting back to the main part
Yeah.
about the video, the loop.
Yes.
Okay, so if I if I backtrack a little bit, when I was making videos about JEE, about giving tips about JEE, what the things you can do and everything. At one point, I had run out of things to say. All the advices that I had, I have already given it, and then I noticed people are still not satisfied. People want more. People want more advice.
Yes.
People
Yeah.
want, after I've given like a 1 year strategy, they would want a 10-month strategy. After
Yes.
I've given a
Mm.
strategy for 2020, they'll want a strategy for 2022. So that is when I realized, and that is how, when I ventured into
Mm.
this whole side of YouTube, which is catering to the JE audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of people, I'm not going to take in names, everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of people who are basically milking this same kind of content and making hundreds of videos and getting millions of views on them.
Yeah, I completely agree. Mm.
Yeah, so that is something that really disgusts me at a point. Like, as a content creator, how can you do this? And that is when I started to like somewhat repel away from the JEE related content, for once, because I didn't have anything else to say, and second, I didn't like this whole JEE culture that was going on. And see, if anyone wants to be like, or wants to earn money around this JEE culture, anyone can. Basically, you can just keep on producing those videos and keep on producing the videos that your audience asks you to make. That is an easy way to fame. If I so that is not something I wanted to do. I wanted to help people in a realistic way. I wanted them to realize what they're actually doing and how they're wasting their valuable time that can be used some other way. So initially it was, initially the idea was that I wanted to make a parody video of the J creators who will have a whiteboard behind them and tell them you have to do this. You don't have to worry about anything. Everyone in my class clears JEE. So that is what SK Sir is basically. That little segment that I made. Yeah. So I wanted to make a full-fledged video about that initially, but I was putting it off for a long amount of time. But then I asked for collaborations at one point.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That I said, no matter how big or how small your channel is, if you have a good idea, reach out to me.
Yeah.
If I like your idea, I'll make a video. So this channel, Me Logs, her name is Meenals. She reached out to me and talked about this idea, and it really resonated with the idea that I had previously. And then we came up with this. We got into a Discord call, and we came up with this idea of a phone call that we can show, and how we can show the life of both of them, of an aspirant and of someone who is studying in college, and how like the whole story pans out is that the aspirant is basically getting onto every lead they can. They're DMing and emailing everyone they can find. And somehow all the people who are in college, who are on Instagram or anything, their DMs are blocked with all of these messages. And we, at one point, we just start to ignore them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we can't keep saying the same thing over and over again. And let's be honest, it's not really possible. So that is something I wanted to acknowledge in that video. And while making that video, that whole Kung Fu Panda reference also came into my mind. So I
Yeah.
put that into the video. I thought it really fit really well. Like while I was watching Kung Fu Panda, I didn't realize that it was actually delivering that message. When I was scripting this video, I finally understood, dude, that dragon scroll, that shit was empty. That is what they tried to say. That is what they tried to say, that it was all inside you. There is no secret recipe to anything. And that is when I also connected those two stories, that the dragon scroll and the secret recipe soup. That is how basically this video came around. We had spent a lot of time on Discord call to shortlist the whole thing and like figure out how the story pans out, which music to use and everything. It was a well effort put in, but again, it was all worth it.
About music, I had a small question. Do you have a playlist on Spotify with anime music?
I do. And I think recent playlist that I made for traveling on a train journey. It's mostly Hindi songs though. Yeah, that is public. I think it's called Lambe Safar Ki Raat.
All right, I'll check it out for anybody who else wanted to listen to your music. I really like the music you use in your videos, especially. So that is something I wanted to ask. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, but yeah.
Yeah, so that is basically how these that particular video was made. And I have like other cool ideas of cinematic storytelling videos to make in the future. Maybe after this internship session goes away, I can finally get some time to scripting. And if I get back to college, making videos gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because again, when you live in a family, you can't always like record a video or just do anything you want.
I know. I do it like at 12 at night. It's crazy. I don't let anybody listen to me.
Yeah, that was there. When I started my channel, like I see my colleagues, well, not my colleagues, I should say colleagues, my classmates who have started YouTube channels, they share their channels on the stories and everything. And that is fine. That is something I aspire to do someday. I think that is really cool, but I could not do that whenever I started my channel. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell any of my friends. My dad actually found out about my channel when the first video blew up a little bit, and it went to his feed somehow.
Yeah, similarly, my parents also found out that way. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is how my friends found out as well in college. So, yeah.
All right. That is it. Thank you, Sankho, so much for your valuable time here. As I can see that you're really stormed with this internship session, especially. So thank you for sharing your valuable lessons with us and talking about a lot of different variety of things. And that is it for this video, I guess. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone again for watching. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe. Akshit is a really nice YouTuber, and he's really talented, he's really smart, and he's again making really good videos that can be really valuable for you. Make sure you follow him, hit the bell notifications so you know when he uploads videos. That is all. You know all the rituals that you have to do. Again, thank you. Bye bye.
青い地球が私の胸に夜に